Hello everyone, we are back like we never ever left in the first. This is CPAT here bringing you another Exceed commentary. Today we have a very special tournament. This is the first tournament held in the Breakfast Club, I believe the name of the server is. And the tournament's name is... Don't remember that either. Maybe I should look that up. But anyways, we are here, and we are looking at two very foreign characters here. We have two Season 1 characters. Season 1 is allowed for the tournament. And yeah, this is interesting because it's the first tournament held in the alternate custom server. And all the seasons, except for Season 6, are allowed. So this like foreign nether region over here, this I've never seen characters from here outside of Reese and the character that draws at range 1. So this is gonna be an experience. I've only heard stories about these characters, and in fact, we have two Season 1 characters right off the bat here. We have Fakey here on the red side with the Mei Lian. Okay, hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. Against Poiman64. Oh, what are they doing? They're already pointing out cards there, whatever. And we've got Poiman64 on the Bale Core. Okay, interesting. Two characters I've never seen before, like I said. Season 1 is just this completely foreign, very jank land that I'm unfamiliar with. While these guys are setting up, we'll actually take a quick second. Maybe let's look at their UAs first. So let's see. Melian looks like she gets like a weird... She gets extra range. Amazing. Fakey already committing the faux pas of not shuffling his deck for drawing. Oh my! And Poiman64 he's got a very cool deck back here. I'm assuming this is a picture of Balecore. I mean, the colors are the same. The resolution's a little bad though. We gotta maybe tell him next time to up his resolution on his deck backs. Of course, Fakey rocking the standard one. They are rocking the Season 6 playset, which is new. Playmat, which is new. I gotta say, I don't rate this playmat very highly. It's very busy. It's cool that it's like Mark Gage, I guess, but it's a very busy playmat. There's no specific slots for deck and discard. Like, Fakey's deck is just kind of hanging out here. But if you look, there's not enough space for discard here. So like it must go here, and then look, and now he doesn't have enough space to play the game. It's very strange. Don't rate this playmat very highly. Maybe I should make a video of tier lists of playmats. But anyways, I feel like I was going to explore, or at least look at these kits briefly, and then I got very distracted. But we have Melian here. So if there's a copy of an attack in your discard, other copies have +0 to 1 range. If there's a copy of an attack in your gauge, other copies have +2 power. Interesting. So this is like a weird... And I'm assuming this gets more powerful on backside. I don't want to switch colors and look at the backside of it. But this looks like... So basically, it's like... Instead of playing EX attacks, you want to... Okay, interesting. As Melian what did Melian do there? Did he CC? I'm assuming he CC'd. Oh, he CC'd to get the card in the discard. Oh my, what kind of Season 1 gameplay? And now we have a Apocalypse Seal. Seal a card from your hand. Seal all copies of that card in your opponent's hand, deck, discard, or gauge. No assaults this game for Melian. What is happening? What? Okay, we didn't even look at Balecore's ability. When Balecore hits an opponent, he may pay two life. I'm assuming this is like as a hit effect to seal the opponent's attack after the strike. Wow, this is so weird. And both assaults just gone from Melian. Or I guess sealed. I don't know if there's any way to get him back. Wait, are they in Balecore sealed area? Is that what's going on? Oh, no, surely not. Surely that's... Oh, no. They should have... What? This is... What kind of mysterious land have we entered? What an Interesting. So yeah, Melian turn 1 discards this card, right? Discards an Ultra from hand, which is very strange, because normally you could just prep turn 1, right? Instead, he opts for the change cards 2 to get this into discard, so that way his next Dragon's Tempest has extra range. And Balekor on turn 1 seals Assault from his hand to remove all assaults from Melian's deck, which I'm assuming that Melian can no longer get back. So Melian just no longer has Assault. Maybe that's like a super powerful card. You know, when second assault's in play, it's a +1 to 2 range, or when second assault's when first assault's discarded, excuse me, then the second one is +1 is a 2 range assault, which is actually really good. Becomes an above curve range 4 option. Or if it's engaged, it suddenly becomes like a 1/6/5 monster on curve. As Melian boosts light at range 4, we haven't even taken a look at the cards. Should we even look at these cards? I feel like it's just so interesting to see them come out as they come out. Maybe we'll look at the kits after the game is over. Yeah, okay. What? Already, this feels just like, I feel like I'm being transported into a different land of Exceed, you know? What's Balekor's backside? Interesting that Balekor's backside only costs 1 to Exceed. That seems quite cheap by the standards of these characters. Usually, I would expect these kind of characters to have maybe 2 or 3 gauge Exceeds, but Balekor's only costs 1, which is interesting. I wonder if... No, surely you can't have like a revert mechanic or anything. You must just have like a very side grade Exceed. And interestingly enough, he can always just deny gauge by spending 2 life. I wonder if what other ramifications there are of that. As Balekor preps, Melian now boosts Falling Star Wish. Search your deck for a card and put it on the top of your deck in your gauge or in your discard. Shuffle your deck afterwards? What? Wait, so why would you search your deck for a card, put it on top of your deck, and then shuffle your... What is that? Why is that a thing? Also, look at this. Look at the stat line. 4-10-6? Hello? That is... Propeller Knight says hello, and... Just looking at the... 4-10-6 in Nor Armor, excuse me. Propeller Knight says hello, and... You take a look at that nerf version 3... 3 seasons later, because Jesus, this is a card. This Poiman rotating his cards at 50 degrees. He's sealing 2 cards from the top of his deck and adding 2 cards from his hand to his gauge. Interesting. So this is a stat line and a half, by the way. 1 to 3, 7, 3, 6. This pops sweep and like beats Spike on offense as well. Like 6 guard is basically enough to trade with anything. This is a... Oh, it has a before 4 life, lose 4 life on it. Okay, I see why this card is like fine. It looks like Poiman has sealed Block and Grasp from the top of his deck. He's gonna add Spike and Sweep to normals, so he's gotten rid of a lot of his normals early so far. Melian closes 1, moves to range 3. So at range 3, so he does have dive in gauge. So right now he's basically threatening a range, a speed 6 dive that hits for 7 power. That seems pretty good. Balekor in response, obviously boosting Cross. That's the main threat here. At range 1, Melian's range UA no longer matters so much. It probably matters for like very niche things, but not even dive will hit at range 1, so that's fine. Although we haven't looked at Melian's cards yet. Maybe when we get a second we'll look at it. Okay, Melian boosts New Horizons, draw 4 cards, discard 2 cards. Okay, so this seems like an insane boost on the character. That card in general looks... No, that card's pretty good too. 2, 3, 4, 5. Opponents cannot move closer to you with a push. It's like a super scuffed whirl. That loses to other worlds, but this is, yeah, what an interesting shape. 2, 3, 4, 5. Opponents can't move closer to you. It's a whirl that just loses to other worlds. It's so interesting. Man, these Season 1 cards are kind of cool. Are we seeing the first strike of the game? Are we about to see the first strike of the game here? Poiman, considering it, he turns his second card over. He's looking at that discard. Like, I'm assuming as Melian, you just have to take a look at the discards all the time. We might as well take a look at let's look at Melian's cards first, shall we? While we So we have this. We saw the ultras already. Dragon Thrash 1 to 2 5 4 attacks at range 3 or greater do not hit you. Okay, so this is just insane with the UA. It's just like an auto dodge with the UA that also does decent damage. Wow. Okay, cool. That card's pretty good. Lightning strikes twice. Return your attack to your hand and put this card in your gauge. It's actually better than the other lightning cards, I think. Oh, it looks like a reading came out from Poiman. Reading misses, so we can take a look at the hand. We have a 0, we have a 1, we have EX Fujin Drum, we have EX Raijin Knife, which for some reason she has an 8-speed push 3. Cool. And we have a Dragon Thrash, and I believe that's it. It's honestly, like, not the best looking hand. From Fakey, he can, in theory, like, null beat this with, like, a Raijin Knife. Fujin Drum actually maybe looks okay at speed 7 because, like, a sweep. So Fujin Drum appears to only push 2 spaces, but one of the sweeps from Balecore is down, unless Balecore has another sweep, like, which I guess he does in Blade of Souls, but one of those is down as well. Balecore's range 1 options, let's see. He has this, so he is, like, basically what's, like, a sweep like. He has a super sweep like. He has, this, like, weird assault. Not assault, but it's like a range 3, speed 5. He has another range 3, speed 5. Oh, interesting. Opts for the Dragon Thrash at 6 speed. Loses to the Cross. That's a little bit unfortunate, although Balecore only takes 3 damage. And now Melian does have some cards in here. Actually, Melian has a lot of cards in here that just give her extra range. Maybe Melian prefers, like, a longer range. I don't even know why I said maybe. That's almost 100% sure. But okay, interesting. Balecore just crosses out, pops 3, pops Melian for 3. But now Melian seems to be at a range that's good for her, although the hand is known. So I completely forgot what was even in that hand. Like, Fujin Drum was a range 4 option that hits. I think that was actually the only one, because he had, like, a weird, like, EX Raijin Knife. Or something like that. So I think we might just have to take it easy here. Yep, odds for the parry. And we have a hand of a block. We have an Accursed Gauge, and we have a Soul Ripper. We'll take a look at Soul Ripper here, because that's the only card we haven't seen yet. If you've used the reshuffle action during this game, this attack has +2 power. Oh, interesting. Wow, so this is like a fast fireball that does super well on second reshuffle. This card seems. How many cards have sealed so far? Like 4? 5. So this card already is a 2, 3, 6, 5. That card seems pretty good at range 3. A little bit undercurve at range 2, but at range 3, that's just a monster stat line. You can't really beat that. Storm of Souls, 1 to 3, 2, 5. Before spend up to 5 life for +1 power spent. Okay, this one feels weaker. Face of Fear, that looks like a Season 6 boost. Interestingly enough. Blade of Souls, we already discussed, it's a super sweep. Desperate Might, I believe that was just a prepare action. No, that was Warhath. Okay, so it's the Ragna boost. So spend up to on a special too. Interesting. So spends life to draw. I believe he drew the full 6 and then discarded the block for end of turn. Doesn't want to get red because the focus is known in Fakey's hand. So we're just gonna take a look at these cards real quick. A 3/13/7. This is a shape. So don't stand at range 3 when Balecore is 5 gauge. Got it. And Apocalypse Seal is the boost that we saw turn 1. And we have Desperate Gambit. 2 to 4, 9/4. Stun immunity. Opponents cannot move you. When you are hit the strike, take twice as much damage, but your life cannot drop below 1. That's so interesting. These shapes are so interesting. They're so different. They're so unique. As Reach is boosted. Oh no! EX Soul Ripper will pop that. Will pop the cross. Fakey will take 4 damage from that. So it's Reach, or excuse me, Gale Extension, boosted to Cross. I believe 1 Cross was already in the discard, so that means that Melian's Cross hits 1 to 4. Instead got popped by the EX Soul Ripper. What a draw. What an answer. Doesn't have the full power, but means Melian can't get away either, which is I feel like Melian wants to keep some distance for sure. just to take advantage of the UA. Maybe Bailcore prefers maybe like a range, I don't know, judging by these cards, he prefers to be a little bit closer, like a range 3 situation. So yeah, very, very nice response there for Bailcore. Yeah, Bailcore opting to move 2 spaces, as we said earlier. Bailcore probably wants to not be so far away from Malian. Malian's crosses are both down now. He discards a Desperate Might and a copy of Grasp to move 2, back to range 2. Fakey just preps in response. And Bailcore opts for a strike here. Okay, interesting. Notably, like, crosses are off the board for both sides, I believe. Although maybe Bailcore has 1, but I don't think Bailcore spends 2 forces to move in and then strikes with a cross to move out. That just seems very wasteful for 3 damage, you know. So I expect this to be not cross from Bailcore. What could it be then? It could be even just like something like an assault, like second copy of assault. Bailcore also has like these other speed 5 options that hit at range 2, like not Desperate Might. What was I looking for? Just checks it with the Raijin Might. Oh, and yeah, okay, it's a spike, so really went for it there. This spike seems totally fine to me. The Raijin Knife will hit first, since Raijin Knife's in discard. Range 1 to 2, 1/8 will deal 1 damage to Bailcore and push him here. Push him to the corner. Yeah, looks like Poiman may be a little bit unfamiliar with Malian as well. Or maybe didn't see it as the EX attack comes out. I feel like this is known. EX Fujin Drum. Yep, EX Fujin Drum. Feels like a little bit of a waste here, actually. But... Wait, that's so weird. Fujin Drum... Wait, so when you EX it... That's so... Oh, okay, so when you As I was going to say, EX attacks are not good for Malian, because she can... I didn't know that that's how that interacted. So basically, the EX attack when played, the first copy gets discarded, and the second one in play then gets the additional range. That's so strange. So basically, she just has Remelis's Toxic Tendrils just all the time. Weird. Okay. Blade of Souls, second copy boosted, as 2 more normals dropped for Bailcore. Now he has basically 1 copy of a Block, Grasp, Assault, Sweep, and Dive in here. So reading Bailcore is going to be tough. Although heals only down to 5 cards. I guess Bailcore goes through his deck quite quickly. Looks like they're doing like a whole thing. I think they're like fixing game state or something. We can look at Malian's cards real quick. We look at Dragon Thrash. Actually, we actually caught all of these cards. She has a cross up, looks like, and Raijin Knife. Okay, so we've actually taken a look at all the cards now for both characters. I really want to see what the flip sides do. I feel like Malian's is going to be some... I hope Malian's is something crazy, like plus 4 power or something, and like plus... It can't be plus 0 to 2 range. It can't be. Oh, maybe it's like plus 3 power, and then like... But like plus 0 to 2 range just seems wild. I don't know how you can ever print that. I guess it was season 1, Succeed was new, and they didn't really know what was going on there. Sorry, I'm just checking my recording to see if it's working. I actually didn't do that. OBS deleted my scenes, which was very uncool of them. So I actually don't know if it's working properly. I just kind of decided to wing it. Looks like it's working fine, but we will see in the future. So anyways, I believe Bailcore spent 2 force in the form of Desperate Gambit to move to range 3 again. It can't be too far away from Malian, otherwise she'll pop you with these extra ranges. And Fakey does have a good number of cards in his discard now to take advantage of this just absolutely insane UA. I've heard that Malian was top tier, or like the best non-Alice / Juno character. So it's really interesting to see. Looks like he discards a Spike to move back 1, now threatening that Spike as well. Which I believe Bailcore is actually kind of soft to... if the second dive is down, then Bailcore really doesn't have too many answers to range 4 spikes. So actually, he does have Desperate Gambit, which will trade like 10 for 9, which maybe is like not the worst thing in the world. But no, Bailcore decides to discard Assault, move back to range 3. We got a little bit of a dance here. Do I expect Malian to discard more force to move back. I actually do. Although Bailcord... Oh, no, you know what? I'm an idiot. Bailcor's 5 gauge. I didn't even realize Bailcord built up so much gauge because Melian has so much health left. Look at this bad boy right here. This is the threat. 313-7. I believe one copy was used to boost turn 1, and the second copy is still in here. Fakey going for the reading. This is super risky. And no from hell. Did Fakey reveal his card early? Did it reveal that dragon... What? What happened there? Yeah, I think he just revealed this card early. And then they're doing like a redo. I mean, I'll allow it. It is the From Hell, but will get dodged by the Dragon Thresh. So we'll have to find something else, and that will not work either. Yeah, this card just seems very, very good at rate. It just beats so many things. Like, it just loses to like Assault at range 3 and just beats everything else. That seems very good. Wait, did it not hit? I'm just gonna assume that didn't hit because there's no copy. Wait. I feel like Bailcord just didn't take damage. As I mistakenly call it Dragon Trash. This card is the exact opposite of Dragon Trash. Looks like Bailcord will seal the second copy of Dive here. Interestingly enough, maybe it feels. I don't know about that play actually. It feels a little late for that. No, because the second Dive for Melian is here. Bailcord only at 9 life. Maybe you just kind of let it rock and hope it doesn't show up again in the reshuffle. I'm not sure I agree with that sealing of the dive, unless there's another reason that Bailcord seals dives. And we'll actually take a look here. Bailcord's attacks have +3 power and +1 speed if another attack with that name has been sealed. Wow, that is a UA and a half. So basically, if any normal is played from here, because these are all normals that have been sealed, Bailcord will have +3 power and +1 speed if he plays that as an action. Looks like Melian opts for the reshuffle action. So we'll lose all the discard stuff, but these 4 cards in here, Dive, Raijin Knife, Fujin Drum, and Dragon Thresh, will have +2 power. And yes, so just a reminder, we'll look at Bailcord's UA here, because I feel like we went through that a little too quickly. Bailcord's attacks have +3 power and +1 speed if another attack with that name has been sealed. This reminds me of the Season 6 UAs, actually. A lot of the UAs in Season 6 are like +2 power, +1 speed if condition is met. So it's interesting. Maybe this is kind of the inspiration for those kind of UAs. Anyways, Assault beats the Wild Swing Halberdier, and Melian will take 6. Bailcord's advantage. The Raijin Knife will almost certainly work. Yep, it beats the Desperate Might. This is a 2 power Raijin Knife because the second one is engaged. So unfortunately, we'll not have that tool to work with the rest of the game. Maybe he doesn't really need it. I expect Melian to... Actually, Melian can't really even take a step back. I guess she can kind of like force like a null turn out from Bailcord. But Bailcord does have a billion gauge to move back in afterward, so it is kind of like a null play. But yeah, okay. Melian just opts to boost New Horizons, kind of like a weird reload, which also gives her the opportunity to take advantage of her UA. Focus is now in there, which means that Focus will now hit 1 to 3. Bailcord opts for the Prepare action. A little bit low in cards, but I don't think deck pressure will play any factor in this game. Look at these life totals, 12 to 6. Fakey opting to strike here. This could literally be anything except Grasp. Right? It could literally just be anything. Everything hits. The Wild Swing The Wild Swing will totally work. Wow, nice Wild Swing. So Cloud Rider will advance into Balecore. Cloud Rider will deal only 3 damage, I believe. No copy has been sealed. And then this Desperate Might will hit back for 5. So yeah, that worked out pretty well. Interesting choice for the Cloud Rider. I would not have expected Cloud Rider to be the strike there. Just because the after ability is just kind of detrimental to what Malian seems to, or what I expect Malian's end game plan to be. It seems a little bit detrimental to that, but maybe there's a reason for that. I mean, it was an above curve option at range 3, but Balecore does have what, at least 2 sweep likes in these 2 cards, alongside his own sweep, obviously. Balecore opting to prep. Malian preps in response. Range 1 is where we find ourselves here at this juncture. This could be the game right here. This could be that 7 power sweep. Although that 7 power sweep does like randomly lose to a lot of things because of the before lose 4 life on it. So that would be a gutsy play. Balecore opts to strike at range 1. Reminder that all of these cards here will have plus 3 power, plus 1 speed. So this could be like a 6 power, 8 speed Grasp, for example. Could be a 9 power Assault, or 9 power, not Assault, 9 power Sweep. That's the card I was thinking of. Luckily, no focus has been sealed, but that Grasp will only hit for 1, and the focus will hit back for 4, and we'll draw the card as well. So Malian now looking a little bit shaky. Again at range 1. Yep, and there's the response. Spend 4 force to move back to range 5. I like that a lot. Interestingly, both these players have built so much gauge and have used none of it. Crossing into range 3 makes sense to me. Although maybe one of these is still up, but it can't actually be. It can't actually be extended for range. So maybe the correct play from Fakey there was actually to use cards from gauge that would benefit from the extra range, you know? So maybe like this Dragon Thrash, toss that away. Why is he tossing away the... I don't understand why he's tossing away the Raijin Knife. He should definitely be tossing away the Dragon Thrash, no? So that way when Balecore moves to range 3, he can like at least try to threaten this. Malian appears to have no recursion in her kit. I'm pretty sure she didn't, so... Yeah, maybe I would have liked to see him throw away this Dragon Thrash instead. To attempt to threaten the second one. Especially because Balecore so far has just been moving to range 3 ever since he had this 5 gauge. Balecore attempts to dive in. This will be a 7 power, 5 speed dive. Luckily gets blocked. Now I'm assuming he'll spend the Dragon Thrash. Balecore does not have a lot of options left, and he has a ton of gauge and a ton of sealed area, so a lot of information is known. Okay, yeah, looks like he did spend the Dragon Thrash as well as the dive. We'll take... Actually, it's currently deciding whether he will take the 1 damage. Reminder, this is a 7 power dive because... oh, it's an 8 power dive, excuse me, because of Balecore's UA. And yeah, will not opt to take any damage there. That makes sense to me. I think taking 1 damage there is maybe fine, but taking 2 damage is catastrophic, so that sequence makes sense to me. Back to Malian, since that was Balecore's initiation. Malian, looking at this board state here, I believe a Grasp is left. So that's the biggest threat there. A 6 power, 8 speed Grasp at range 1 appears to be the biggest threat. Sweep is a little bit risky, but it's part of the mix-up, I guess, at 9 power, 3 speed, with a bunch of guard. Although, notably, that does lose to Malian's Grasp. It just, like, loses the game to Malian's Grasp, because of the Grasp in the gauge. Fakey opting for the strike into the Wild Swing. It's a cross. That is... And the cross hits. The cross will hit for 3. Soul Ripper, probably just one of the worst cards you can rip off the top there. As well as a From Hell Gone, right? So, Cross puts Malian back at range 3, although he is threatening the second copy of the Dragon's Thrash. But that From Hell gone means that that's no longer a threat that Fakey has to deal with, I believe, unless the second copy is in hand, which honestly could be. Melian searching through her own discard, seeing what options get additional range as Baelcor opts to strike here. This could very well just be the second copy of From Hell. I really have not been paying too much attention to what's been going on in the discards. I've just been really just kind of absorbing the Season 1 gameplay, the Season 1 jank. This actually doesn't look so and no, it's kind of jank. The sweep will probably lose. Yeah, it's From Hell, and that is GG. Game 1 going to Poiman's Baelcor. Just really just standing at range 3 and just threatening this From Hell a lot. Or standing at like appropriate ranges and threatening these sealed cards quite well. Yeah, Baelcor's UA design reminds me of like a Season 2 character. Oh, interesting. He can also revert. Oh, so this is like a Season 6 character. This is just like a Season 6 character. Or like, I guess Season 6 characters are like Baelcor. Wow, that's so interesting. I did not know anything about that. What is this card here? I don't like the color on this card. This card reminds me of like I don't know if you. So when I was a kid, and when I used to get sick, I used to get amoxicillin, and amoxicillin it's basically like penicillin. Basically, I'm not sure if there's any chemical difference there, but it was this ugly color. Not a huge fan of this. I'm a big fan of pink, but I'm not a fan of this pink. This pink is a little iffy for me. As Poiman bringing out the Sydney Serena, I believe this is actually Poiman's main, if I'm not 100%. I've never seen Poiman play before, but I've heard stories that this is Poiman's main. And Fakey will bring out the Propeller Knight instead. So Propeller Knight. Finally, we see two characters that are not completely foreign to us. Although it was interesting to see the Melian and the Baelcor. I could definitely see the merits on why people think Melian would be the strongest non-boss character. It just feels like the range game is just so like you as Melian, you just stand at range 4, you just threaten everything. That seems fair. And I believe we never actually got to see the backside, so I don't know if that backside's even more ridiculous. I would assume that if people think it is that ridiculous, it would be like plus 0 to 2 range, plus 3 power. I'm assuming that's what it would be if people were to rate Melian as a boss tier character. Plus 0 to 2 range, plus 3 power is something that I would guess. That seems like not relative, that seems extremely strong to me. The range part specifically. So yeah, I don't know. We'll have to take a look. Maybe next time someone plays Melian. Apparently 4 competitors brought Melian to this tournament, so... Oh, Headwind beats out the cross there. Interesting. We'll do 4 damage. Propeller versus Sydney. Sydney Serena. Propeller is kind of, he's a little bit low damage unless he gets the Tipper. Which is if the opponent's at the maximum range for the specials and ultras, will do 2 power each. Sydney Serena, kind of like a weird jank stoner. Interesting, I've never seen this boost used before. I've never seen Feed Me used before. So already off the bat, this is just a complete divergence of any Sydney Serena gameplay that I'm used to. I will take a look at that Feed Me boost actually. Spend up to 3 life for each life spent. Add a card from your hand to your gauge. So now Sydney has 3 gauge in here. Gets rid of 3 normals as well. Vine Snare is a very good boost. The opponent can't move, you can still move them. You can basically just pepper them with like a random thing that will just hit. Although Poiman has only 1 card in hand, so not the biggest threat. And yeah, that Choking Thorns will probably miss. Yeah, will definitely miss. And Propeller Pull basically acts as like a sweep there, kind of. Will deal 6 damage to Sydney Serena. Sydney Serena off to like a really bad start. Yeah, I forgot Choking Thorns has 2 armor. He will get the additional gauge in, but yeah, this Vine Snare, I've seen it as a set play to kind of hit other options, but seeing it into top card of deck seemed a little weird to me. Here comes the cross, which will beat out the Verdant Slaughter. Cross will beat out the Verdant Slaughter because he spends 2 gauge and he can only pull 2 afterward. That is That is so unfortunate. Uh, wait, why is it pull 3? Oh, God, the wording on it's so weird. It pulls 3 because it pulls 1 for free. I had no idea. I'm not. As you can tell, Sydney Serena is just not up my alley. Is the block. Sydney opts to cross out. The Sydney gameplay I've seen is mostly just Sydney sitting in the corner. Serena, obviously in the middle, can't move. And the opponent just trying their hardest to move in. They get pushed out by cards like Spore Burst. Venom Lash even pushes, that kind of thing. Interesting. Okay, so I did not know Verdant Slaughter gets 1 pull for free. Take a look. The Sydney Serena wordings in general are just so awkward. So this one is pull 1 towards the source of the attack, so he gets 1 pull for free, and repeats the effect for each card in his gauge. So he gets pull 3 on this. I would have thought this would have only been a pull 2 up until today. So Poiman teaching us the Sydney Serena tech of reading your cards before playing them. Propeller initiating with Cannonball. Blossom Haze will hit first, deal 3 damage. Cannonball has exactly 3 guard. So Cannonball will hit back for 4. This is actually super, super aggressive Propeller gameplay. Like, Sydney Serena already down to 12 HP. This is the first transform that's out. Sydney Serena transforms are quite... well, they're good because they reduce the cost of the UA. And they can also be useful for, like, random things, like repositioning for the most part. Enhanced Metabolism is an excellent way to get additional gauge. That's what I've seen it used for. And Lignin reinforcements, like, I actually don't know about that one very much. Looks like Poiman initiating a strike. This is the most aggressive Sydney Serena gameplay I've ever seen. Initiating a strike, interestingly enough, into like a card like what's Propeller's range 3 option? I believe it's called Saber Lunge. Yeah, Saber Lunge. This is a range 3 speed 6. We like to highlight those a lot. Saber Lunge is one of them. It's quite a good one too. Oh no. The Assault will pop the Spore Burst, which will miss. Oh, what an that's... This feels like such an interesting option. I feel like this lost to everything at range 3. The Spore Burst feels like it loses to everything at range 3, right? Fakey opts for the on-curve Assault, but he could have played Saber Lunge. He could have played... I don't know about this one. It's like a weird sweep, but doesn't hit like the appropriate spots that it needs to hit because it doesn't hit the space, right? Full broadside. Full broadside will win. Oh, but interestingly, so normally the way I see full broadside used is that I see it used at range 1 to push him back to range 4 to deal 8. Unfortunately, he won't get the full value, but this will deal 6. The sweep will hit back for 6 more. Interesting enough, Fakey opts to pull Sydney out of the corner with it. Which I feel like the positioning was fine, because now I feel maybe Sydney can just back up. Although Sydney does have to... Oh, Sydney Serena opts not to exceed here, so Sydney could just die. Sydney could just die here. And yeah, Fakey opting for the strike. Does Sydney have the armor block? Does Sydney have the armor option here? So yeah, Poiman on his turn opted for the Saprophyte. Which is basically just a reload boost. Also gives you an opportunity to transform a card. Sydney, he was 1 gauge short. That's why. Sydney's exceed cost is 7. Oh no, and the spike beats the Wild Swing Focus. That is a very quick, very clinical game 2 there from Fakey. The rush down Propeller Knight. There was no time to even talk about what's happening on the screen. Just so fast. The range 2 spike there, a little bit of a ballsy play there, but I respect it. Game 2 going to Fakey's Propeller Knight. Fakey, I believe, has 9 and Mei-Lian left, 2 characters who are extremely strong. Poiman, I believe, has Sydney Serena left and Arcune as well, so 2 characters who are considered to be less strong. But I believe Poiman is a Cindy Serena main, so he knows what's up there. Let's see if Fakey goes for the melee end or if he goes for the 9. I've never seen 9 Sydney gameplay. Oh, it looks like Poiman bring out the Arcune against the melee end. Okay, so we've got. So this is our first matchup that has basically never been seen in a tournament before, right? Because Season 1 was never legal when Season 5 was. But it is legal here. Fakey going back to the melee end. That snap point just seems so wrong for the discard. Or for the deck. Not a big fan of this playmat. For the purposes of online. Maybe, I mean, I'm sure it looks fine if you're a fan of these characters. If you're a fan of, like, the anime aesthetic, I'm sure it looks fine IRL, but not a big fan of it. These squares are kind of weird, too. Also, they're backwards from all the other ones. Normally, the 30 starts on the left, and it goes down as you move to the right, but here 30 starts on the right and moves down as you go to the left, which actually probably makes sense. That's how numbers work in America, but in like most of the world. There's my American-centric rhetoric for the day. Arcune versus Melian is the matchup we have here. Arcune, just that weird character, a little bit underwhelming on front side, but when he flips, he becomes a little bit of a monster. Can pull out some absolutely disgusting shapes, like a 7 power this at 4 speed, like a 8 power Y2 dash at 5 speed. Just can pull out some absolutely disgusting shapes when he exceeds, but that exceed does take a little time. Looks like Fakey just giving the reference of Melian there. Fakey looks like he does not need his own reference. Looks like this reference areas button has actually changed. Maybe report that to D. I don't know if he wants like this default, because I don't know. Yeah, the voice of the people button is the same. So I'm assuming, and the setup button's the same as well. So I'm assuming there's just a little bit of a glitch there. That D will fix the next patch. If you are interested in playing Exceed, by the way, I guess this is the plug. Terenkin, or D as he's known, has made this mod. It's called Balanced Breakfast. It has all of the characters, all the legal characters, plus a couple illegal ones, or not illegal, I guess a couple ones that haven't been released, as well as some of the Season 6 cast. Season 6 is starting to be revealed now, as you guys know, or as a lot of you guys know. And sorry, this is just so wild. What a commitment. The turn 1 F piece wise. Turn 1 EX F piece wise. I've never seen that before, and I would never expected it to. Fakey just opts to block it, so I guess the value is there. But yeah, and Arcune just ordering his stuff. He can't get that F piece-wise in the overdrive. He has to be one of the 2 cards he discards for additional range on F piece-wise. Yeah, I've never seen turn 1 EX F piece-wise before. That's actually crazy play right there. So this is a 7-3-1-6 that Fakey blocks. I believe he just discards the Ultra to take 1 damage. Arcune opts to move in. This is pretty consistent with our opinion that Melian, not even our opinion, just the fact that Melian likes a little bit of range. The Arcune does too, but I think Melian likes a little bit more with this just bonkers UA. I hope Melian actually gets to exceed this game so we can see the backside and see if our prediction for the exceed side's correct. But yeah, really big commitment turn 1 out of Poiman, but it does work out as he does build a gauge and an overdrive. New Horizons boosted from Fakey, so he would draw 4, discard 2. The discard 2, again, as we stated in game 1, not actually a downside because it gets important cards for Melian. So in the discard to give her extra range. So now her dive and her grasp, which were both discarded from that 1 card, will both hit, right? So grasp will hit at range 2, and dive will hop over 1, 2, 3. Dive is a 1, 2 will also hit on the backswing. Interestingly, Fakey discards a 2nd block from overdraw, and Fakey or excuse me, Poiman will just prep in response. Makes sense to me. Arcune, not the biggest fan of low cards. Fakey opting for a reading here. Reading whiffs. We see a hand of FFG permutation, Spike Grass permutation, EX permutation, but not really a hand that can punish. I think this has just got to be a wild swing from Poiman. This hand is not looking good at range 2. EX permutation is nice to draw because drawing both of those is very nice eventually for when you get to overdrive. It's probably his best card on overdrive. Just Fakey just shuffles discard. Poiman just shuffles discard. Whatever. I believe Melian's discard order doesn't actually matter, so it's fine. But oh, are they actually fixing it? I think they might be fixing it. Okay, I mean, whatever works. Okay, and with the fake out there, the Cloud Rider will beat the Assault. I'm pretty sure that Poiman wouldn't play Spike there. I guess Spike does beat this one instance of a card, but Spike loses basically every other Melian option there, just because it like pushes too far away. Actually, it doesn't beat the range 2 Halberd here. So maybe Spike's not the worst play there, but I think Wild Swing's way better there from Arcune. Arcune just saying, hey, beat this Spike? Because he's got... in theory it could be Permutation, but it just feels like Spike, no. Permutation and R... I mean, he'd have to spend 2 force to make it happen. Which is... expensive, but we also did see Poiman play the turn 1 EX F piece-wise, so clearly not expensive for Poiman. Interesting enough, he's taking these, and it is just the Spike. Yeah, Dive just beats... I don't know about this one. Dive just beats both of those, right? Because it's only 3... Permutation's only 3 speed. Dive's a 4 speeder. Yeah, just a really aggressive gameplay there, where I feel like there was no need to be. But I'm assuming that's just the nature of, you know, some... I myself am a relatively passive player. Poiman clearly showing he's an aggressive player, especially on that Sydney Serena and on this Arcune. The Fujin knife. This is just oh, there you go. If F then Q will beat that. Nice wall swing there. So we'll take a look at this. Attacks with higher speed do not hit you. He may advance 3 if he wants. Does this hits? Yeah, this hits. It does no damage, but it hits. So Arcune gets his hit effect of adding the top card of discard to overdrive. And then may add this if P then Q to his overdrive. So now up to 4 here. We should be keeping track of this, because once Arcune hits 8, that's when the game really starts for Arcune. He's a little bit gimped before that, but when he hits 8, that's when it's really scary. I'm assuming just like a simple prep action will come out here from Arcune. I believe all of his cards are known. Actually, maybe not all of them. Oh, even better. Just a CC. Okay. CC over prep. Discarding both copies of Permutation and R, which I consider to be the best card, but maybe Poiman has a different... I mean, Poiman mains Arcune, right? I don't main Arcune. I thought this was the best. This is just the best card for him when he overdrives. So it's interesting that he discarded both of those, as well as an FFG as well. Which kind of allows you to extend your overdrive. It's kind of like a cheeky play to allow you to extend your overdrive, especially when you're in like range 4. Maybe not so good against Melian, I don't know. Sweep into focus, just a simple 4 for 4. Arcune will discard a card, then draw one. Although running a little bit out of HP, but he does build an additional overdrive. That cross will go to overdrive as well if he wants. Looks like he doesn't want. It is optional. Oh no, it's only a special soldiers. Never mind. Yeah, as you can tell, a little bit rusty here. It's been 3 months since I've done proper commentary. As Fakey boosts lightning strikes twice. Return your attack to his hand and put this into gauge. Okay. Interesting. A little bit of recursion there. Recursion is very good in Exceed. I'm not going to repeat the Calavantis rant that recursion is very good in Exceed, but that's why characters like 9 are so good in my opinion. Because recursion is busted in this game. This is like a smaller form of recursion that's like probably balanced in a vacuum, but no, recursion is very good in Exceed. As Malian pops back 2 with the second copy of Dragon Tempest, equals 0. So attacks at range X do not hit you, where X is the number of cards in your overdrive. Now draw 1. So we have 3 cards in the overdrive, so attacks at range 3 will not hit Arakune at the cost of -1 speed. Unfortunately, this means something like Dive is just totally free. So second copy of Dive is in melee, and I expect a strike to come out with that right away, because that's just the freest dive in the world, I think. But anything else? Oh, actually, you know what? Second dive is gone. Dive was one of the cards discarded super early on. So yeah, totally fine there. As Malian opts to move to range 2, just completely null this. Yeah, I don't know about this boost personally. As Arcune opts for a strike into it, I don't know about this boost at that juncture. It's only the second time I've seen this boost. The first time I saw this boost, it was Calvantis against Mix, and that one made sense because it like Arcune was in the corner, so it couldn't just get like nulled out. As Poiman strikes and then takes it back and then wild swings. What is going on? I'm assuming they're figuring it out. I haven't been paying attention to the rules of the game, but I'm sure they got to figure it out, whatever they're doing. But yeah, the -1 speed, a little bit of a detriment here. No way Arcune can remove cards from overdrive. On front side, obviously. He can on backside. But this is just a -1 speed boost. Fakey moving cards around in his hand. He actually doesn't. He does that a lot. So it's not like he's lining up an EX. He actually like shuffles card. I've played against Fakey in. So Fakey's known for making customs. The grass will beat out the dive. Okay. Pulls into range 1. Very interesting. Grasp will return to the hand. Maybe just a simple power boost comes out on the turn after. Arcune will take 3, and yeah, here comes the Fierce from Malian. Makes complete sense to me. Doesn't want the normal to be known, but gets the additional value with the Fierce. Yeah, very ambitious dive there from Arcune. A 3-speed dive. Just felt like he lost it. Oh, you know what? It was a wild swing. That's why. Okay, yeah, he just wild swung dive because just like, well, I'm gonna lose this this combat, so might as well just wild swing it. Arcune opting for a strike. Maybe the card to look out here is for his cross from Arcune. And no, it's the Y2 dash. So Y2 dash will hit for 6, and then Arcune will get popped for 8. Arcune down to 7 life, and also in the corner. Doesn't even have full overdrive left. He will have 4 overdrive and 3 gauge by the end of this. Let's actually take a look at the numbers here. The number situation in and of itself is not great. Arcane loves having 3s in here, and I don't see a 3 yet. Although he did discard both. He did discard both permutations. I don't know. It just feels like Arcane is getting a little bit smothered here. The card quality has been great, and when you can never flip on frontside Arcane until the very end, that's a bad time. That's a bad time. Looks like Malian is going to flip. We can take a look at his backside and see if we were right. Oh my, we were on the ball, and I hate that we were on the ball. What is this UA? Plus 0 to 2 range, plus 4 power? Hello? That is crazy. Huh. The Cloud Rider will beat the Assault. That will just deal 3 extra damage. Oh, no. That's game. That's game. As Poiman throws his block across the table. Jeez. 1-2-7-6. Why does this exist? Well, Fakey takes game 3 and takes the set 2-1. Perfect timing for me. Is I actually got to roll out, but what is that? Arcuna didn't even get to succeed. Just gets smothered by poor Mei Lian. And wow. Oh, the 1-2-7-6 finishes the game off. What a way to end it. We saw the very busted part of the UA at the end there. Fakey takes the set 2-1. Unfortunately, this is single elimination, so this is the end of the road for Poiman64. First time I've actually got to see him play, but what's very interesting. It was really interesting to see the more aggressive Sydney Serena and the more aggressive Arcuna. Like, if I was playing those characters myself, I would not be nearly as aggressive, but it's cool to see that kind of gameplay come out. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this set just as much as I did. A little bit of the jank came out there. I hope to see more of that in the future. I will be recording Reggie's match later tonight. Maybe I'll record one more along the way if anyone wants me to. But other than that, got nothing more to say. Thank you guys so much for watching again, and we'll see you for the next one. Bye-bye.